Hey, welcome to a video I'm doing on hyperroll. Specifically, this is aimed for people who already know how to play regular TFT, um, mostly focusing on the differences between econ and player damage, things like that, and then also talking a bit about what strategies tend to be better and what strategies tend to be worse here relative to regular ranked. I've been in the top 100 a couple times. This is my second account. I have three accounts that are hyper tier right now. Um, this guy is currently my highest rated, but I have been top 100 a couple times, always below 90th, and usually only for like a couple days. Um, so I'm just going to talk a bit about like sort of the pacing of hyper roll and the big differences. So first big difference is that everybody has 20 health, and that damage is kind of constant. There's no difference between a small loss and a big loss, which is to say, if you know you're going to lose, it's better to lose by a big delta so that you invest your gold later. That said, there's usually no reason to try to be weak in this game mode. The only thing that you get is actually, instead of winning rounds and getting gold, you actually gain 2 gold every time you lose, and you don't get gold per win. So that's the only benefit. For losing, there are no carousels. You just get sort of an automatic item anvil instead. And there are no inherent benefits to losing. There are no streaks. It's only whether you have an econ trait would be really the only thing. So at the start, you get 2 player damage per round. And then after that, it's 4 beginning at level 6 and 6 per round beginning at level 9. It used to be a little different before level 10 was added. So one big factor in hyper roll is that right now we're at level 3 and we have to play this round at level 3. Normally the best thing we could do with our gold would be to level, but we can't. So instead we're just sort of picking up units as we roll down. One thing to note is that 2-star units are dramatically better than 1-star units, even this 2 cost. And so while we might want to save these for traits later, it's really, there's no kind of benefit of playing that first. And in fact, if I was playing super seriously, I would have rolled down at level 2. I would have sold the units that came out of my orbs. In this case, I believe I got a gold opener. I'm going to slam an item here, might as well. So these early rounds don't matter a ton health-wise, but there's no reason to lose them, so it's fine to compete. And obviously, picking up 1-cost units is particularly good for late-game comps, especially if you're going for comps that require trait bots at low levels. So in particular, that'd be Lilia and Kennen at level 2. It's very hard to find them in the late game because you are forced to level up as things go through. One thing to note is that your gold econ is variable. There's no interest in this game, which means it's completely fine to hold units. There is no reason for me to be above 10 there. But I can start playing for traits here. I think that's only worth it if I can 2-star some of these guys. Okay, well, we're close. I think for now it's better to just do bruisers. So we're just playing for board strength, and that's basically always going to be the case, although there are certain rounds where it's good to hold gold, and there are certain rounds where it's completely fine to invest everything and like purely try to win. So in particular, there are 2 rounds at level 4, we can tell at the top, and both of these are player combat. So there's basically 4 health up for grabs that we're competing for at level 4. But at level 5, one of these rounds is going to be PvE, so there's actually only 2 health to compete for at level 5, and then at level 6, because player damage increases, that's going to be 8. So in particular, there are some levels that are really bad to roll down on to spend your gold, and this is just for odds. Purely for odds, there's no interest. But the reason that one might want to level early, or sorry, the reason one might want to spend their gold at a low level is just for the odds of those units and for tempo to keep their health up. It's otherwise sort of I would say it's pretty pointless to spend a bunch of gold at level 5 when there's so little health on the line. It just is not worth it to me, really. In most situations, there are certain health breakpoints in the late game that are really important. I basically think of it in terms of having lives, where by level 9, if I have 6 health or less, like whether I have 2, 4, or 6 health, it's all the same. The only difference is in tiebreakers when multiple people are eliminated per round, and at that stage 2 to 3 people will be eliminated each round. But there's like a big difference between being 8 health and 6 health, for example. It's basically the way that I see it is that, say I'm at like a middling health amount going into. You can replace this. Sorry, I'm trying to focus on the actual game at least a little bit. I'm not going to roll down too much at level 5 because the only thing that I could possibly hit here, because right now my best odds are for 1 costs, would be Lilia. And I'm only really looking for 1 more Lilia. I guess I could hit an Evelyn as well. That would be fine. But I'm kind of just chilling for the moment. I can play 3 Penta, 3 KDA. But the important thing right now is that I'm just econing up. I'm getting a bunch of gold here. I'm not going to spend it. I'm going to hold these units primarily, because level 5 does not matter. I'm basically just taking combat augments that I think will be good late game. It's a little silly, but should work out. I rolled there once because I do have some upgrades I'm sitting on. Like Lilia, I would play Evelyn over this, and then if I were to get a Gnar, that could be good for Superfan. I want to pop my items off of my Olaf soon. Anyway, so you'll notice that I've been holding units at the cost of interest because there is no interest. This is just generally because of the odds decrease. I've also been mainly worried about holding units for a little later in the game. I'm not super worried about fighting over level 5. I'm fairly healthy, and level 16, and 16 health does not particularly do anything. But I did slam items early. These are not the ideal ways that I would really want to spend a bow, for example, but there wasn't really anything else that I could do with it. So level 6 is when things get serious. I'm going to roll here and go for as much as I can. I'm going to focus on rolling because I can do all the item stuff later. Kind of looking for a Gnar. Well, I could lock shop. Kind of committed to the Penta KDA line. I'm going to grab Sniper's Focus because it's really good on Kaisa right now, and it should line up well into Karthus hitting backline. My strategy actually is particularly bad for playing around 3 costs. I find there's not really many times in the game where it's good to roll for 3 costs, but there are plenty of times when it's good to roll for 1 costs, 2 costs, and 4 costs. And then 5 costs obviously would just be right at the end of the game. Passive interest varies wildly between, you usually get a big bonus just for leveling up, and then everything after that sort of is a little bit less. All of these items fucking suck. Guess I just take bow. I have 6 Kales. I could go for a Kale 3 here. Let's go for my Superfan things so that I can pop off items shortly. Is there ever a world where I replace Kaisa with Ari? I think maybe. Not sure though. Kaisa is great as an item holder because I know that she's not in my endgame comp unless I end up getting a vertical, which most likely would come from getting spatulas from my item selection. You'll see this cube for them. I believe they happen at the end of level 4 and level 6, and then they happen aligned with PvE rounds in other parts of the game. So you'll see there's nobody really, like, particularly trying to lose streak. Even these people, like, they have no reason to be trying to lose streak. They're just sort of weak for no reason, I think. I think Death Cap is crazy, right? I mean, Fist of Fairness is wild, too, but I think it's this. Well, I have 2 Aries. I could just dupe my Ari here. Seems pretty good, actually. I want flexibility, because I'm going to sell the Olaf kind of soon. I don't think it's worth rolling at 7, basically, at all. I should probably just play the Mord and be happy. I probably won't end up going for Kale stuff. Here I'm just going for combat augments. It's worth noting, I rolled past the Tactician's Crown augment immediately, because Tactician's Crown fucking blows in hyperroll. It is so bad. And the reason for that is just that you level automatically. So Sniper's Focus is just too good on Karthus. Is it ever Nashor's Tooth? Nashor's Tooth could be good on Colony when I get that. Where did my Death Cap go? Oh, that's a good question. Put it back on my board. Well, whatever. So right now I'm level 12. Basically this gives me 3 lives if I'm taking 4 damage. But at 6 damage, I have 2 lives already. So I really don't mind taking 4 damage once. This is fine, but now for level 8, I'm really focused on not dropping around. Because this will, in the late game, let me maintain my 2 lives. It's also silly that I didn't get my Death Cap back early. So we saw Olaf here because we're looking for a new headliner. And we roll down. I'm going to be pretty picky here because I have a lot of gold. Do I want RE2? It's not bad. Okay. This will make every Karthus cast very lethal. But maybe not, like, good. As far as Adaptive Helm goes, I kind of wish I had something else. Viego would be wonderful if it wasn't chosen. Keep hitting Aries, what the hell? I would have loved a tier here. Let me forge some stuff. Never mind, okay. I use Olaf as an item holder for Viego. This is all shit I want to reforge anyway, and then I'll give my Aries and other items. As soon as my Karthus casts, this game is over. Yeah. I'm looking to play an additional pentakill, but I don't think I can do that until level 9. Would have loved to have gotten a spatula. That would have made my level 8 spike so much better. Steadfast Shard is kind of sick for this. Crown Guard. Anyway, I have 3 good options here. I'm lacking good Viego items at the moment, though, so I think I do this. Blue buff is phenomenal. Holy. Gnar good. Viego good. I should swap the Viego because I want my Karthus to be on the more defended side. Generally, I should also be scouting, which I haven't been at all because I've been explaining stuff, but Anyway. I'm really glad that I won both level 8 rounds. It's really, really important. Now at level 9, I'm going in with 2 lives, where one person's already out and 3 people have 1 life. I'm basically equal to the top half of the lobby entirely, so... There's my Akali. I think it's worth doing this for traits, just so my Karthus can crit. One really big advantage on Akali specifically is that I can... This is not Penta... Oh, I sold the Olaf. Okay, well, I made a mistake that I talked about myself a little bit ago. That's silly. So here I have to look for a Viego, Akali. I'm not going to greed. Everybody has 2 rounds here. I'm just going to go for a top 4 mentality. I'll try to find Viego, Akali, and I will dupe the other. Okay. Sweet. Well, didn't need to. And I would love to replace this with, like, Annie frontline. My frontline right now is really weak. Declaw is great, I think, in this setup. So, like I was saying earlier, because of the way player damage works, even if I have like a 1 unit loss, or if I have like a 10 unit loss or whatever, it's all the same to me. So really, I want the power delta to be as small as possible whenever I win, and I want it to be as big as possible whenever I lose, so that I'm not wasting value. And in this case, all I mean when I say value is like shop odds of when I roll down. Is it ever worth to just TG my Mord? I feel like TG Mord is probably the play here, but it might be Steadfast Heart for the late game. How weak am I? I definitely lose to this dude. I probably lose to the Sona guy. Okay, I think I TG. I'm looking for... Okay, whatever. I'll just 2-star Poppy for now. These are bad TG items. Let's just do this for the moment. Right now I'm playing non-greedy. I'm not going for an end board. I'm just playing to live. Because I have 2 lives. I'm really just hoping that 2 of these bozos get knocked out. If I live one of the next 2 rounds, I am guaranteed top 4. Is the way I'm thinking about it. So earlier I mentioned Tactician's Crown being something that I think is kind of silly. Particularly because... Oh yeah, I hit my units. Tactician's Crown is silly because everybody levels up so quickly. By the time you're at these end boards, getting 1 extra unit on a board that already has 9 or 10 units does not matter at all. So it has relatively a lot less value. I think I want to buy all 3 of these. I get 9 gold from this. So I would have had just enough to hold the Karthus, but I don't trust my APM. Guess I could have made it, I guess. And I'm just focused on this guy hitting. I could go Steadfast Heart or Runons for my Akali. Maybe that's the move. Maybe I just Runons her. I'm kind of going for a 3-star forecast. I would just prefer to get a 2-star Yorick, though, honestly. But I have my dupe, so that's sort of what I'm angling on. Let's take a Spark. I don't have Shred right now, and this should do a bunch of damage. This is the guy I beat, so I'm really happy. Oh, and it's a ghost, too. Nope, okay, not a ghost, not a ghost. Wait, do I lose to it? What the hell? How come his Jinx didn't die to my Karthus cast? Weird. Okay. Well, I guess I only cast the once. There's no reason for me to actually play Olaf. He's currently just a complete waste. So we should just be doing this, I think. I'm very close to a Karthus 3. Fighting a ghost this time, but it is the stronger of the two, and I lost the weaker. They're competing for each other's units, so I'm not super worried about holding anything to deny them. My Karthus casts here, I win. Nice. Okay, one more Karthus. There it is. What do I sell? Is it just the Akali? And I dupe? This is fine. I don't mind this. Maybe I can win with a 3-star Karthus. I'm actually not sure. I think it depends on my cast, I guess. Anyway, the other, I guess, small tip to go along with the Tactician's Crown one is that I wanted to briefly mention the Prismatic Augment Starter Kit that gives you a 4-cost champ every stage. The reason that is weird in Hyperroll is because the stages align with levels, you get it really early. You get it at level 5. What do I deny him? Thresh, Caitlyn. Okay, Thresh, Caitlyn. Oh, there's a Caitlyn. Okay, well, I guess I just lock this. Is he going for a Lowy 3? Okay, well, it didn't hit. So this is our last round anyway, no matter what. Yeah. Okay, great. I have a lot more to talk about, but I will do it another time.